Xxxtentacion officially comes out of hiding.
How are you guys doing today? I'm on the phone with my mama. Say hi, mama.
In 2018, Xxxtentacion was tragically shot and killed near his hometown. The breaking news devastated many of his fans as well as his friends in the hip-hop community. His passing set off a new wave of fans checking out his music and discovering the positivity he stood for before his last moments. However, as with the death of a young star these days, some people think he's still alive. Thanks for joining us. Today on Lime Report, we'll be taking a look at the evidence that leads fans to believe X is still alive. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment keywords "bad vibes forever" for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Stay tuned as we reveal the latest details on the return of X. Well, there are many people that believe X is still alive, just as many people are convinced of his passing. For those of you unfamiliar with how he died, here's the quick version. The incident occurred in June of 2018 when Xxxtentacion was out and about in Florida near his hometown. He was leaving a motorcycle dealership in his BMW when he was rushed by two masked assailants. The attackers shot the rapper before stealing a Louis Vuitton bag and fleeing the scene. He was rushed to Broward Health North Hospital and was pronounced dead hours later. The day after his death, X's management team released the following statement. On June 18, 2018, Jose Onfroy, known worldwide as Xxxtentacion, tragically passed away from a gunshot wound in Deerfield, Florida. The statement begins, after requesting privacy for the rapper's family, friends, and loved ones, the statement concludes by saying, Xxxtentacion touched the lives of millions around the globe and will forever reside in the hearts of countless fans who listened to his music, attended his concerts, and felt the glow of his uncontainable, undeniable, and unique spirit. Fans were crushed to hear the news, and many longtime fans as well as newcomers flocked to his music, skyrocketing his work to arguably higher success than he had seen in his life. Much of the newest generation of the rap community owed somewhat of their success to X due to his willingness to work with new talent. The news of his death saw his friends and colleagues flocking to social media to share their grief and well wishes to his family. However, to some, the idea of his passing proved to be too much to bear. That's when theories began forming of what had really happened to the late star. Keep watching as we uncover what has fans thinking that not only is X back, but that he never left. The idea of X faking his death doesn't seem too far off to most people, especially when you consider that if the theories are true, he's not the first artist to pull it off. In the late 90s, hip-hop legend Tupac was shot and killed, much like X. The striking similarities between the two artists' lives and death sparked the timeless conversation. X faked his death. But why do people think so? Well, to understand, we first have to take a closer look at Tupac's situation. The reason I bring up Tupac is because much of his situation and untimely death sounds pretty similar to X and his own passing, as well as the conspiracy theories as to what really happened and where he ended up. The similarities are pretty close, so let's take a quick look at the life and death of Tupac. Tupac was undoubtedly one of the biggest breakout stars of the 90s. Known for his charm, quick wit, and storytelling ability, Tupac inspired flocks of rappers of the following generation and is still considered to be one of the greatest rappers of all time. However, one night in Las Vegas, the rapper was shot and wounded in a drive-by incident. That's when things took a weird turn. Tupac, much like X, didn't die at the scene but was rushed to the hospital and passed away afterwards. His body wasn't shown to the public as his family ordered a closed casket funeral. Even stranger is when his funeral, originally scheduled to be a big event, was canceled at the last minute, limiting the number of people who saw the casket to just his friends and family. These circumstances led to people believing that his death was a hoax. Why would he pull off the stunt? Some believe that he was tired of the pressures that his fame brought him and thus decided to fake his death as a way to escape the stress. Tupac, at the height of his fame, was a controversial figure, which earned him the eyes of both friends and enemies. His story is very similar to X in this way, and so when trying to escape the spotlight, it makes the most sense to follow a proven path set out by the legend. And with his fortune, as well as the digital media age, a feat like this could arguably be pulled off much easier. And why not follow his path if the stories surrounding Tupac are true? He made away clean. He got to keep his fame, lose notoriety, and enjoy his life. However, the main differences between their stories is the fact that X's attackers were caught, whereas Tupac's were never found. Despite that fact, theorists argue that X used this to sell his death harder. After all, if he copied Tupac's story exactly, the facts would be too obvious. While the comparison may be a stretch, it set up the table for the conversation. Want to know the main reason people think X is still alive? Keep watching as we uncover these shocking details from the crime scene. Rapper X was shot and killed in an apparent robbery just outside Riva Motorsport, an upscale motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida. He was shot multiple times in the neck and was in critical condition before being pronounced dead at 5:30 p.m. the same day. However, these facts have been subject to hard scrutiny by his fans. While there are a ton of conspiracy theories surrounding his death, the most compelling part of any of the theories is the evidence surrounding X's murder. Or rather, the lack of evidence to support the story presented by the Sheriff's Department and other official sources. One Twitter user, Xxxtentacion, picked apart the initial reports made by authorities, and his analysis has us wondering, did X fake his death? Here's what they had to say. His passing? In the reports, it said that a Louis Vuitton was stolen from his car. In the video of his pulse being checked, there's absolutely no evidence of violence. No shattered glass, no holes, his face is in pristine condition. If he was run up on, wouldn't his car have been damaged? Wouldn't he have had face injuries? And to go out the way he did should have portrayed a more violent outcome than what actually showed. It's really suspicious. In the videos, he is completely clean, even on his clothes, which were light-colored. Next, the Louis Vuitton bag was stolen. X wore jewelry often. No reports of jewelry being stolen were made. So why would you rob someone, do serious harm to them, steal their Louis Vuitton bag, but leave their jewelry? This is when Xxxtentacion goes on to point out the most stunning fact about Xxxtentacion's death. Finally, someone pointed out the fact that his tattoos are missing. The videos of his body are low quality, and I'm not sure I believe it, but it seems that very clearly his forehead tattoo is missing, which brings the option of the man in the car being a double. The tattoo mentioned in his rants is the prominent prong tattoo on the middle of X's forehead, which upon closer inspection of the videos of his death doesn't appear to be there. While many of the facts mentioned by the Twitter user can be explained rationally, that's not to say they can be dismissed completely. Rather, it forces us to take a harder look at the facts and wonder, what can we believe? Did X really fake his own death to escape the mounting pressures of fame? Regardless of the truth, the story garnered a lot of attention and has some wondering whether X fooled us or not. What we can say for sure is that the death impacted so many people in such a rough way that it's become easier for some to doubt the news still to this day and to look for clues of his trick rather than accept his death and heal. Many of the theories stem from the stress caused by the passing of someone many of his fans felt was near and dear to them. Now we have to ask ourselves, if X did fake his own death, what motivated him to do so? While it's true Xxxtentacion was widely popular in the rap game, that's not to say he didn't have his share of troubles. It's well known that X was a wildly controversial figure in the industry. Aside from his violent and sometimes disturbing lyrics, which sparked controversy on their own, X's personal life was also a hot topic on social media during the majority of his career. That controversy still follows him around today. What irked some people was that X was known to be a little wild, to say the least. He made unfortunate choices when confronted with certain issues in his life. The biggest being his complicated relationship with one of his exes, Geneva Ayala. There had been several reports of an abusive relationship between the two, and while X proclaimed his love for her in many of his songs in an attempt to win her back, she, on the other hand, filed lawsuits against the young rapper, claiming mistreatment and other horrible accusations. Okay, but why would this cause X to fake his own death? Well, it's hard to bring charges against a dead man, and thus lawsuits usually wash away after death, which is exactly what happened. After his passing, all suits were closed. Therefore, faking his own death would allow all legal action to be released, allowing X to live somewhat peacefully. While it may seem far-fetched to fake your own death for something like a lawsuit, people before him have unsuccessfully tried to do the same. Though the theories may seem far-fetched, Xxxtentacion's own words and actions are somewhat the cause of the theories. Prior to his passing, X began to somewhat predict his own death. The late star took to Instagram shortly before his death and told fans that if he somehow died, he wanted at least 5 million kids to be able to find some kind of peace or happiness through his life despite all the negativity that had surrounded him and his name. Despite his hardships and troubled past, X is known as the man that sparked the conversation regarding mental health among his generation. Reports also tell us that he was advised to beef up his security, but he declined. Many saw this as a recipe for a setup. While we may never know what really happened to X, one has to wonder, did the rapper feel the need to escape the pressures of his fame? Was there a motive strong enough to push him to trick us all into believing he is dead? Or is it time to finally move on and accept the fact that we will never see X again? That's it for us today at Lime Report, everyone. Let us know what you think of Xxxtentacion and his unfortunate passing in the comment section below. And remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment keywords "Bad Vibes Forever" for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Tune in next time as we uncover the latest news that matters the most to you.